Hey Buddy Fighters, Buddy Jacoby here. Today we're doing a deck profile for the Chaos, and unfortunately I wasn't able to get a secret pack from the one booster box I got, and I don't really plan to invest on Chaos. It's just a fun deck, and from cards that I've gathered, from some starter decks, and some kind of high rarity cards, we're going to be doing a deck profile, and I'll show you guys what I have. I do have Infinity the Chaos, so here's an example of the Chaos, and on the back, just to be smart, a rare version, just to flip side. Here's the buddy for the deck, the X Dual Chest Gear God, and we've also got the Mirage flag right here, and of course, we've got our Infinity Rare flag that we were somehow able to pull, which this thing just looks amazing, better than the SP in my opinion, but anyways, let's get into the deck profile. So, I did manage to pull one copy Genome Upgrader, and I did get one secret pack from Chaos Control Crisis, so this is kind of like a budget deck profile. Honestly, if you just have fun playing Chaos, and if you want to invest into it, it is really expensive, but I'm just going to show some stuff, the deck that I've made from some random cards, and some lucky stuff that I was able to get. So, first off, starting off with two copies of this item. So, Mecha Explosive Axe, Chaos Demon Slay. Now, pay 1 gauge, this card can attack even if you have a monster in your center, 5-0. And this card gets critical S1 for each monster on your field. Then if you have 3 or more on your field, it gets Penetrate. It's actually an errata. You can check the Buddyfight website. But the point of this card is that it's the best item that I had to get from Genome for free. And on top of that, if you fill up your entire field, that's a 4 crit on top of your Infinity the Chaos flag, which is 3 crit on top of your entire field. It's just more damage. And if you can get off the impact, it's just absolutely lethal to your opponent. So 2 copies right there. Just because you don't want too many to brick with, and it's a good amount. So I've got one copy of Genome Upgrader. It's pretty self-explanatory. Start of attack phase, you can call a Chaos monster in your drop zone at no cost. And with Overkill, you can set up one Chaos monster and one item monster without paying their equip cost / call cost. And yeah, it's a really solid card. It's also got Soul Guard, so you can use a card we'll mention later. We've got 2 copies of Proto-Deleter Gear God version 88. So 3 gauge, and you put any number of monster in your field in this card's soul, so you can stack your soul if you really want to. When it enters the field, you can call size 3 or less Chaos monster, which also without paying its call cost, so you can get Talika and other stuff that we'll show later on. And Overkill, discard a card from your hand at the beginning of your opponent's stack phase, destroy all cards. So it's basically just there for free call, and basically just fill up your field in that Chaos territory, of course. So 2 copies of that. 3 copies of the Trial Deck Gear God, just because you can pop it off on your first turn, call cards in your drop zone, really just get the chain going. And also you can stack up soul as well. And just because it's 2 gauge, it's cheaper in Chaos territory right off the bat if you need to get something like Electrification. So I just find it more handy than the Trial Deck one, so I run 3 of it. 1 copy of the one secret original Ruler Chaos Gear God 7 that I have. It's 2 gauge, it's pretty obvious what it does right by now. At the beginning of each player's attack phase, call a Chaos monster in your hand without paying its call cost. Chaos Drain, if this card would leave the field, you can destroy a size 3 or less in your field, and if you do, this card remains on the field. So, Chaos Territory, 633, size 30. Okay, let's get on to the main monsters. So, first, Draw Power. Chaos Osiris, pretty self-explanatory. Call to your left and right, you have a monster in your center, gauge and draw. Named once, return ability. It's just really good for resource, especially if you can get it off any of the Gear Gods called earlier by card effects. The 1 copy I have of Chaos Darrow Burke, Scout 3, get cards in your drop zone, get cards into your hand. It's really nice. Also can't be blocked by like, what is it? I forgot what the name of the card was, but the cards that stops you from drawing during your opponent's turn, so you can bypass that. We've got these 2 similar cards, so we've got Mini Gear God Rainbow and Chaos Alberon. So because Mini Gear God Rainbow is a continuous ability, if you replace him. If you retire him to call a new monster in the same zone, or use a spell that puts him into the drop zone, you get that free gauge and draw. And Alberon, put into drop zone, mill 2 and draw, so it's just more draw power in the deck. We've also got 3 copies of Chaos Seketsu, so if you get too many impacts or items, or just get something in your hand that you don't want, call him, discard, cycle through, gauge and draw. You can also pair this up with a size 3 legendary monster, we'll show later, because I really like that combo. And it's just really great for cycle if you brick or just can't do anything else, or just want to get some extra gauge and hand cards. So 3 copy of that. Might want to change those copies a bit, the amount in the deck. So you've also got Chaos Ozerklines, 2 from the X Dual Chest. Really you only need 2, and it's just gauge, life, and draw. Very simple. 2 copies of this common, which is really nice from New World Chaos. So this is a really great card in budget Chaos decks, or if you want to run it in your competitive Chaos deck as well. 5/2/5 Chaos Metamora. When the card is field by a card effect, gauge and draw. So it can be by Machining Sacrifice, it can be by Gear God, when it enters the field from the ones we looked at earlier, and also the X Dual Chest Gear God, my buddy. So it's basically free gauge and draw a call by card effects, which is what you're going to be calling it by most times. And you can call him and get that free gauge if you really need it. We've also got one copy of Rising Flare Dragon. Would run more, but this is the only one I have. And basically mills. And if you can mill 3 size 3 graded monsters, you get to draw a card. And it's also free monster destruction too, so you can Machining Sacrifice this as well, just to bring them out. I've also got 2 copies of Chaos Strategia. Really just want to test the deck more, might take this guy out, but basically when he's destroyed, you can call to one True Trooper or Chaos Monster from a card's soul by paying its call cost, or from your hand without paying the call cost. And it's got Penetrate as well, which is really nice. So you can call from Genome's Soul, or any size 3 monsters in the deck that has Soul Guard, or really just call a monster from your hand at no cost, like the Buki I have, just to stop multi-attackers. So it's kind of just there in the deck. It's still a little for me, but it's a really nice card, especially from Max Dual Chest, especially in like a budget deck, if you somehow manage to pull some crazy cost monsters. So we got 1 copy of this guy right here. He's really great for gauge. Corrosion code 666. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of the corrosion codes just because I only got 1 box and I didn't really want to invest into Chaos. But it's really great because you can mill 2 and get up to 4 gauge if both you and your opponent mill 4 monsters. And when you're finishing the Chaos attacks, destroy monster your opponent's field, so free destruction. 1 copy of Lattice to Chaos just because Spell Nullify is really good. Might want to tech more in or tech more out. But Spell Nullify is absolutely amazing, especially in the Chaos deck if your opponent's trying to end your attack phase or anything like that. And also you can stay on the field if you discard a monster in your hand if you have the hand card. So it's really, really great. Let me just grab this right here. Edward the Chaos, there isn't really much to say. It's really great. Can destroy return. You can stop bots. Get rid of any pesky monsters. It's a cycle card because when it attacks, you can put a card from your hand into your gauge, gain a life, draw a card, double attack, and soul guard. It's just a really great card. Probably one of my favorite Chaos cards just for its effect and the blue hand, the art, and everything. It's just absolutely amazing. And it's a Dragon Knight as well. So we've also got Black Dragon Chaos Vladar, if I can read that. Believe it's Vladar. Anyways, 7/3/5, size 3, penetrate, 2 gauge. When this card enters field, you get to debuff in your opponent's field. Sorry, debuff a card in your opponent's field for -2, -2, -1. When this card attacks, draw a card. And then if you have a set on your field, gauge and gain a life. Pair this up with Sunken Ruins, you get 2 gauge, a life, and a hand card, which is really nice. And also, he can debuff as well, so I really like him in the deck. He's one of the higher rarity Chaos cards that I have, and he works very well. And also, you can use this effect twice with Machining Sacrifice. Okay, we've got Chaos Billion Knuckle, a new card from New World Chaos. It's just really great defensive-wise. Lifelink 3 is a little on the S side, but with that counterattack and pretty decent stats, plus you've got a soul and his ability to 1 life to nullify his destruction, and you can redirect attacks away from your monsters. So it's just really good, and if you really want to know your opponent, you have enough gauge, you Machining Sacrifice this and call him back, and because he's called once again, and it's not named once per turn, you can just troll your opponent again with that ability. So, we've also got 1 copy of Chaos Talica. I mean, what's really there to say? It can stop you from deck outs late game, recycle cards from your drop zone back into your deck. It's double attack, 10k power is really nice. And yeah, also you can Chaos Drain as well. Not like I really have proper Chaos Drain in this deck, but yeah, it's a really great card. So, tech in 1 copy, Chaos Freya, 7/2/6, size 3, 2 gauge to call normally, but when this discard is discarded from your hand, you pay 1 gauge. You do call this card from your draw zone without paying its call cost, so basically, discard, call it for 1 gauge. So you can use this with Genome Upgrader or with Chaos Sekisetsu. And when this card enters field, destroy monster opponent's field, deal 1 damage to your opponent, gain a life, and double attack. So it's just really nice to have in the deck. It's a double attacker. You can tech it in when it's discarded. So yeah, 1 copy right there. We've got 1 copy of Ibuki right here just because you need to stop multi-attackers nowadays, and I don't have a Burning Castle. So when this card enters field, choose a monster or item in your opponent's field that card cannot stand during this turn, and the next turn. Then if this card enters field by ambush, rest that card and deal 1 damage to your opponent, and also double attack with 2 crit and 9k power, and the camera doesn't want to focus. But yeah, I really just prefer this card because I don't want to tech in too many spells, but if the camera will focus, it's still just a great card to have in the deck. There you go. Ibuki is just a really great card in the deck to stop double attackers. You've also got Sentry of Auto Deity Chaos Dragolem. 1 gauge. When this card attacks, for this turn the card in the field gets critical +2 and 5,000 power with penetrate, and it's got some pretty crazy stats. 3 crit is really nice. So it's not necessarily overwhelming your opponent. It's not the crazy gear. It's basically like a budget version of the new gear bots from New World Chaos that can stand a card in your field to give a critical +1. Pair this up with some double attackers, you can get some 4 crit double attack and deal some lethal damage. So it's really nice. Also, This card, I'm thinking about taking it out just because I don't run any auto DDs, but he's nice because he's there. His critical plus 3 crit, really good stats, penetrate, double attack. He's kind of just there, probably going to take him out, but yeah, auto DDs. I don't really have too many. I tried squeezing in auto DDs, it just didn't work in the deck. So, 2 copies of Parasite Egregil. So, this card is really good because it stops your size 3s from being destroyed by card effects. Really annoying to your opponent. You can't break with this, but usually Chaos Setsu, and you can always charge and draw it. But yeah, it's really great. This also is a set so you can trigger the size 3 Black Dragon that we showed earlier. And also when it's destroyed by your opponent's card effects, and you put it to one monster, it drops on into your hand. So it really stops cards like Roaring Blast and, you know, basically stops your field from being vulnerable to monster destruction, effect destruction just in general, which is really, really good. And it protects your entire field. So it's really annoying to your opponent. You've also got 2 copies of Population Reduction. 1 life, put a size 3 greater into your drop zone, draw 2. Very simple, draw 2 card. Wish I had more. 1 copy of Sunken Seabed Ruins. So when a size 3 monster enters your field, this card's in your drop zone, you pay 1 life to set it. And also size 3 greater damage, Delta is reduced to 0. And when a monster on your field attacks during your turn, basically gauge 1. So you can use that in combo with other cards. 2 copies of Invaders from Chaos. 1 gauge, draw 2 if you have 2 more Chaos on your field. Just more draw power in the deck. 2 copies of Electrification. Gauge, gain a life, draw 2. You can also grab this with the 1 copy of Ruler's Privilege I have. Honestly, just because Chaos has so much draw power and they have Chaos Gear now, I don't see why you wouldn't run a Ruler's Privilege just because you have so many hand cards. Because Ruler's Privilege can stand a card in your field, or you can just grab anything you want from your drop zone. Whether it be monster, spell, item, like, it's just a great card to me. Launch the auto DD right here. So you put up to 1 size 30 or greater, so you can search for Genome, whatever you want, and the camera doesn't seem to want to focus. That's wonderful. But yeah, really great searcher for Gear God, managed to get 1 copy of that. Okay, hopefully the camera's focusing now, but anyways, going back to it, auto DD's favor. Choose up to 2 size 2s monsters on your field for this turn, give them penetrate, then if you have 3 or more size 3 greater monsters in your field, draw a card, so penetrate just to get through walls, and it's a free draw card, so 1 tech copy in there. We've also got 2 copies of Chaotic Pain. 1 life, get cards into your drop zone, and gauge 3, so you get cards in your drop zone for the Chaos upgrade, the Chaos upgrade. Always get it mixed up. And it's 3 gauge, which is really nice for your Impact, Gear God, whatever you need. So 3 copies is really nice in the deck. Sorry, 2 copies, it's enough. Machining Sacrifice, really great card for Chaos. You only cast this card in your opponent's turn. Put a monster in your field, drop zone, call size 3, get a monster in your drop zone by paying its call cost, counter. So basically you can use this, bring back the monster if you want, bring back Gear God during your opponent's turn, and just really surprise them. So yeah, 2 copies of that, really nice card. Also can be used defensively as well, obviously. A Ruler's Privilege, just a great card, honestly, to tech in the deck. 1 copy is enough, but, I mean, I remember there's a size 3 that can search for spells now, like, and Chaos has so much draw power, like, they don't really need to worry, so I absolutely love this card in the deck, and, you know, Wisdom, it's a really cool card, so, yeah, it's really great for drawing anything you want from your drop zone back into your hand. We've also got the Chaos upgrade right here, very self-explanatory, brings out your Infinity to Chaos right here, so you have that free 10k defense and 3 crit, don't know what Bushiroad was thinking, and you can still attack with your flag as well, which is pretty insane. So yeah, basically gets that for free, search for a Gear God, and by the way, because it doesn't say a size 30 or greater Gear God like Auto DD Searcher, you can search for Mini Gear God as well if you want that free gauge and draw, so there you go. Chaos Upgrade, great card in the deck, so 2 copies of that is enough, especially if you're running the Searcher, which I don't have. And of course, last but not least, 2 of Directive Code Force Reboot, 4 gauge, stand all Chaos on your field, and you get another attack phase. Your opponent tries to end your attack phase, just need to deal some extra damage. Like, this card is absolutely stupid. I don't know why it exists for Chaos. It's honestly not hard for them to get 4 gauge. But yeah, it's an insane card. I run it. 2 copies is honestly enough for my dual chest. And yeah, it's really fun to see your opponent's face when you use this. So, there's the Chaos deck right there. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Unfortunately, I don't have size 10,000 Gear God complete. But I absolutely have a blast playing this deck. And it's just a really cool deck to have, and it's a lot of fun. And of course, this Infinity Rare Chaos along with the Mirage Chaos Flag. It's just a really cool collectible for Buddyfight, and they look absolutely amazing. By the way, when it says to put face down, you put it like this, by the way, for Chaos players, or for those who aren't sure. So, you put it like this when you cast Upgrade the Chaos, put it on top, and there you go. So yeah, that's about it for my Chaos, the deck profile, probably going to call this Cluster Chaos just because it's an absolute mess. But yeah, Chaos is pretty crazy right now in Buddyfight, but it's definitely a fun deck to play, so yeah. If you have the cards lying around, or maybe you want to team up with a friend, see if you can make a deck together, basically it's just to show what you can make with the Chaos deck and with the resources you have, and just really play around with it. And that's the point of Buddyfight, to just try and make decks that you can, try and make crazy stuff, experiment with new stuff, and card and effects and stuff like that. And I said stuff way too many times. So thank you guys so much for watching, and have a great day.